Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I have forever and always believed that there are far too many kind people in this lifetime to be forgotten about. So I always want to take the time to say thank you to you guys for having made this YouTube channel into what it's become and making me the person that I've become over the years. Because over the years I've had the honor of resonating with so many wonderful fans of Descendants and Zombies who have had a favorite character from the Descendants and Zombies franchises, who have had a favorite song or a defining moment that have made them the fan of Descendants and Zombies they are to today and will forever and always remain. And I think that's what's so special about being a YouTube creator for this niche, is having the chance to relate to each and every one of you and to create relatable content, which I have done through the years. I will never ever forget any of you for the profound impact that you've had on my heart and how you've really changed my life, because this was a life-changing experience for me, becoming involved with Descendants and Zombies. I've not only had the honor to create all this wonderful content over 800 videos later, but I've had the honor of meeting so many incredible fans who have shared with me their stories about how they became a fan of Descendants and Zombies and how Descendants and Zombies always and forever never fails to cease to amaze them and resonate with each and every one of their hearts. And that has been the most enjoyable thing for me being a YouTube creator for this niche, because you guys gave me a chance to be a part of this niche, to represent each and every one of you as your voice of Descendants and Zombies, which you guys have wanted for a very long time. Because, I mean, let's be honest. You guys have always wanted Disney to create a Descendants and Zombies themed podcast for you guys. They seem to create podcasts on every other topic in the world that you could ever imagine. But when it comes to Descendants and Zombies, they never seem to follow through with their promise of creating a Descendants and Zombies oriented podcast until Jonathan Clarke showed up, because you guys knew he was a world famous YouTuber. Everybody knew who he was. And then a couple of girls used to show up at my door every year on Halloween dressed up as their favorite character saying, "Hey, Jonathan Clarke, guess who I am?" And needless to say, I felt very inspired by that. And I never felt more inspired until I opened up the Descendants and Zombies book. You guys remember the cartoony openings for both Descendants and Zombies? Now, they explained to you how the story was going to be something special, unlike anything we had ever seen before as Disney fans. And it certainly was something special, and it became something so special and so precious to me in my lifetime, because I got to share my story with each and every one of you. As many of you know, I perceive this show as a journal. I may never know what I'm about to say or what I'm going to share with you guys about what may have happened to me throughout my day or something that relates to Descendants and Zombies, but that's what makes this show so fun. Because you can choose to just review Descendants and Zombies and leave it at that, or you can choose to share with people your story. And they get to know you, and you get to know your audience better, and you get to appreciate them in a way that no other YouTube creator has ever been able to do. It may have taken me up on the opportunity to move near a residency, near a soda plantation in a chemical plant, that living your life in fear of exploding at any given moment never comes easy. But that's what makes this show so fun. And I've told you guys a lot of really funny stories about how I thought my best friend may have been a vampire or my roommate may have been a werewolf and I contemplated shooting him, and how this is going to happen for the story of Descendants and Zombies. And, you know, that's what's made this show so fun, because it resonates with so many wonderful people. It touches everybody's heart. And needless to say, it puts a smile on every single person's face who may have ever subscribed here. Because you guys took a chance on me when you really didn't have to. Because, I mean, let's face it, and let's be honest with ourselves. There are many YouTube creators out there who have created Descendants and Zombies YouTube channels, many of whom have over 1,000 subscribers because of AI-generated content, which really is completely unnecessary or ever defeats the purpose of being a Descendants and Zombies fan, because it gives people false hope for a future they have forever and always believed in. I've never wanted to distribute AI-oriented content for Descendants and Zombies. I've always wanted to speak from my heart, never knowing what I'm going to say in each video, hoping that it was going to reach out and touch the hearts of so many wonderful people who have been members of the Descendants and Zombies universe for forever. I refer to it as a universe. Many videos that I've ever recorded, I say, "Hello once again, Descendants and Zombies universe," because there are so many incredible people who have drawn inspiration from these franchises time and time again, who have their own unique story and their own unique perspective they have shared with everybody, explaining to them why they are fans of Descendants and Zombies. But you know something? You don't owe anybody an explanation. If you are a fan of Descendants and Zombies for seemingly your entire life, for what must feel like forever for many of you, I have often said that there is nothing wrong with being a fan of Descendants and Zombies. I say that because I meant it. I've always wanted you guys to feel encouraged about being a fan of Descendants of Zombies, collecting the merchandise, including the dolls and the sweaters and the hoodies and the t-shirts and the pajamas. It's really, really fun being a part of these conversations and having these conversations with so many wonderful people who have shelves in their room full of Descendants of Zombies dolls or Descendants of Zombies hoodies they wear every day to school. Many of you probably have that one hoodie that you're pretty much worn out because you've worn it every day. You probably bought it at the Worlds Collide Tour and you've never taken it off. If you are somebody who has never taken off your Descendants of Zombies hoodie because you love these franchises so much and you represented them in such an emphatic way and left an everlasting impression, there is nothing wrong with being a fan of Descendants of Zombies. To be honest with you guys, I'd probably be the only guy in the world to wear a Descendants of Zombies hoodie or sweater because I thought it was so cool. You know, while many people thought that Descendants of Zombies was a pretty much lackluster production and this should have happened, that never happened, or the merch never lived up to a certain criteria or expectation level of the critics who may have reviewed this thing, I saw something special in the Descendants of Zombies merch because they sold millions of t-shirts, they sold millions of hoodies, and everybody who took one home took something special with them. They took a piece of everybody's heart who was a part of the cast home with them, and they've held it close to their heart for forever and always. Kind of like how I've held Descendants of Zombies in a very special place in my heart that will never ever go away, and I will never ever forget any of you because of it. Because you guys gave me an opportunity that I never ever thought was going to come my way, or that was ever going to happen for me. Because I got to share with you my story about how I loved Kylie Control with all of my heart, how I loved Ruby Rose Turner with all of my heart. You know something, seeing what they had to endure to become a part of the cast of Descendants of Zombies was really hard for me because everything they had to endure took such an emotional toll on them. You know, always having to stay in shape, always going to the gym, doing these very hard, very difficult workout regimes that they had to do probably 5 days out of a 7-day week was really hard for me to see. But as time went on, I gained a greater appreciation for always seeing Kylie Control recording these vlogs of herself in the gym or Ruby Rose Turner performing martial arts because it taught them discipline and it made them stronger people. And that's always what I forever and always wanted to see happen for them. I wanted them to become stronger people, just as I wanted you guys to feel so strongly about Descendants of Zombies. You know, seeing Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Control, even with how heart-wrenching it was seeing me have to go through that, I had gained a greater appreciation for them. And I forever and always held that greater appreciation with me in every video that I've ever recorded. You know, Ruby Rose Turner went through a lot. She was going through a lot up until the point in time she was casted as Bridget in the Descendants franchise. And I remember the day that Ruby Rose Turner got the call. She was going through a really rough time in her life, a real rough patch. She couldn't make sense of everything going on around her, and until her management label called her and said she had gotten the role of Bridget, I remember her being so happy, and the energy was at an all-time high in the vlog she would go on to record. She was so excited to let everybody know that she had landed the role of Bridget in the Descendants franchise, and ultimately Bridget went on to become everybody's favorite character and my favorite character because of just how genuinely sweet the girl was. Even after everything she had to endure and everything she may have had to go through, Ruby Rose Turner never failed to cease to amaze each and every one of us and touch each and every one of our hearts. And I like to believe that through everything that we saw Ruby Rose Turner endure, from wearing the costume to learning life is sweeter when you are to performing all the choreographing, we earned a greater appreciation for what Ruby Rose Turner had meant to this franchise, and she has forever and always gone on to hold a very special place in our heart. And to be honest with each and every one of you, I'm really going to miss Ruby Rose Turner moving forward with Descendants 5 with Wonderland because, as I've said many times, it's not 1,000, it may be 1,000,000. Ruby Rose Turner was my favorite Descendants character of all time. While Dove Cameron will go down in history for being the girl that made all this happen for me because I felt very passionate about Dove Cameron's work, and I've never shied away from sharing with you guys how I felt about Dove Cameron because I thought she was an amazing person. Ruby Rose Turner will forever and always hold a very special place in my heart for teaching me the appreciation of life and how we should appreciate every moment that we share with our friends, with our family, the time that we spend with them, and just how precious time is. I will never live long enough to say thank you enough to Ruby Rose Turner for teaching me the value of life and to giving me a greater appreciation for each and every one of you, as many of your favorite Descendants of Zombies characters have done. I talk about the same 3 or 4 Descendants of Zombies characters because there is never enough time in a life, a single person's life, to be able to say thank you to everybody for showing the appreciation and the love that you've expressed for your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars. Kylie Control will forever and always hold a very special place in my heart, and sometimes I really wish I could have helped Kylie Control out more with all the difficult times in her lifetime that she had to endure. You know, always having to stay in shape, always having to believe in herself when nobody else ever did. Until Descendants of Zombies happened for each and every one of us. And we took something special away from Descendants of Zombies because we gained gained admiration. We gained appreciation for these stars. Kind of like what happened for me. I never imagined that I would be sitting here tonight with the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel in the world, but it happened because of each and every one of you. Because you guys believed in me from the very first video that was ever uploaded here, and I would share with you statistics about how Descendants in its first 3 days, The Rise of Red, received over 6.7 million streams on Disney+. And then Disney Plus had to go back and make a couple of edits, and everybody was freaking out going, oh my god, they just took off The Rise of Red off Disney Plus. What's happening here? There was a glitch. And I remember when that happened. I remember seeing the premiere of Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires. I remember seeing the premiere of the Worlds Collide Tour in San Diego, California, and the finale, which was very emotional, in Fort Worth, Texas. But you know something? Every scream that I heard in that crowd when I watched the Worlds Collide Tour made my job all worth it. Because I've been a part of a lot of momentous times in my lifetime over the course of 25 years. But I will never ever forget having the profound honor to have shared in the Worlds Collide Tour and the many moments we witnessed together with each and every one of you. And that's something you guys got to know, man, because if we're going down together, because there is no better way to go down as a fan of Descendants of Zombies than to die together. Because I know that we've received our fair share of criticism as fans of Descendants of Zombies. We've all heard it. We've all seen it in these ridiculous videos that have been uploaded about Descendants of Zombies, with everybody having the need to share with them a desired opinion. But together, we've seen it through, because we ultimately became the light of everybody's darkness that could never seem to make sense of what may be happening around them with Descendants of Zombies, many of whom wish to know when the first ever official trailer for Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland will officially be released. I will never forget the night that the first official trailer dropped for the Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland premiere, which was months away from ever happening, but I remember how the first ever trailer dropped, and it was a teaser. It was about 30 seconds long where they revealed the title. And everybody was just so excited to hear what the title was going to be, what the plot may become to be, and I just remember being there, and I remember recording all these reaction videos hoping that I was going to be heard and seen. And lo and behold, I was. Everybody fell in love with this crazy guy who was really sweet on time, so let everybody know that there was going to be something special happen for Descendants of Zombies. And I like to believe that somewhere, somehow, I was able to resonate with so many wonderful fans, which is all I ever wanted to do. I could have been shut out of Descendants of Zombies, but I never ever was, because I quickly realized that the fans of Descendants of Zombies were incredibly supportive. They will never ever go away, and they will never quit on who and what they believe in, which obviously has something to do with me being the voice of Descendants of Zombies and representing each and every one of you the way that I have. I can remember being 13 years old and having the honor to see the premieres of things like Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast and The Little Mermaid, and being so captivated by these magical Disney princesses. And now having the honor nearly 25 years later to hear their stories retold to a whole new generation of Disney fans is a feeling unlike anything that I could ever have the honor of experiencing, and I've experienced a lot. I've been through a lot as a radio show host. I've seen and heard my fair share of criticism, and I've seemingly taken bullets for every Disney star I've ever had the honor of profiling. But it's been so fun for me to be a part of these conversations and to share in them with each and every one of you, sharing with you my perspective on how I felt about being a Disney fan. A lot of it had to do with my mom and my grandmother buying me all this Mickey Mouse merch that you see behind me. My mom couldn't go at least 3 days without buying me a pair of Mickey Mouse pajamas or t-shirts or boxers. I remember one time when I was 10 years old, I was in hospital for a couple of days, and Mom said, I bought you these. And when I opened up the package, it was a pair of Mickey Mouse boxers. And I've had them to this day. And I've had a pair of Mickey Mouse slippers that I wear to coincide with it. I thought my mom may have been crazy, but she would eventually go on to buy me so much Mickey Mouse merch, which I've held close to my heart for forever and always, because she's no longer here to share these memories with me. But it just goes to show how precious time is, because we never know how much time we have with a person that have held a very special place in our heart for forever. And I will never forget the people who have resonated with me and have held a special place in my heart for forever and always, many of whom are each and every one of you, because you gave me the greatest chance of all time to share with you my thoughts and all these statistics and all my predictions about Descendants of Zombies, and how I knew and how I felt in my heart there was going to be a Descendants of Zombies sequel. There was going to be a Descendants 5, Zombies 5 would happen. We just don't know what the release windows are looking like, especially for Zombies, which people have an endless number of questions they are still asking, which have forever and always remained unanswered until the release window of Zombies 5 drops. And I predict a very, very beautiful future for Freya, Skye, and Melika Burton. And to be honest with you guys, I'm more than thrilled to be a part of it. I have never felt more honored to experience these memories with each and every one of you. I can remember 13 years old, being in high school and being under a lot of considerable amount of pressure, always having to keep up with the best of them and always having to be in the gym and lifting weights and doing push-ups and stuff. And it kind of reminds me of the Descendants stars because I had to go through the same thing when I was really young. And they are really, really young, always having to stay in tip-top shape to maintain the roles and their images for Descendants of Zombies. I really believe they're under a considerable amount of pressure because I had to endure the same thing, always working out all the time, and I've kind of just recently gotten back into it. But I think it teaches us a great deal of discipline. It makes us stronger people, and I think that together, as we show our love and our admiration for our favorite Descendants of Zombie stars, it really goes a long way. Because I have always believed there are far more accredited people to being kind in this lifetime. There are far more kinder people in this lifetime. And this is the best way that I can illustrate it for you than ever given credit for. And each time that we show somebody kindness, kindness really does go a long way in this lifetime. And I will forever and always believe this and say this about people like Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Contrell, who are the definition and the exemplification of kindness. I will never be able to tell you guys how much I appreciate each and every one of these individual cast members for being on that tour bus each and every single night, getting on the bus at 10 p.m. after a concert would conclude, and then that emotional finale in Fort Worth, Texas. I will never ever forget it, and I'm going to be crying my eyes out all throughout the month of February when I see videos eventually uploaded to YouTube of Freya, Skye performing at the Stars Align Tour. It's 15 cities across the United States, many of which I've had involvement with through producing wrestling shows over the years on the independent level. These arenas can seat anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 people. I think the highest amount of number of people that an arena can seat that Freya Skye is attending is going to be the Paramount Theater, and that can seat over 2,800 plus people. And you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, you know a lot. You know everything there seems to know about Descendants of Zombie Stars. Well, I've experienced a lot, and through my journalistic integrity, I'd love to share with you insights on how many people can be seated in an arena that people like Freya Skye are going to be attending. She's going to be in the Hammerstein Ballroom, and I can remember promoting wrestling shows years ago there because I was a wrestling journalist for a number of years in my career. And the Hammerstein Ballroom and the people of New York, New York are very obliging. So are the people of Portland, and so are the people of all these venues where she's going to be hosting shows. And I think that for the love and support that Freya Skye is about to receive, it's going to be unlike anything she's ever experienced in her lifetime. Do I think that Freya Skye has been more than deserving of performing in front of 20,000 people just as she did at the Worlds Collide Tour? Sure I did. And I will forever and always campaign for Freya to have more opportunities quite like these. And you may be wondering why all these tickets were sold so quickly and every one of Freya Skye's shows were sold out like rapid fire. The reason why they were sold out like rapid fire was because the seating is very limited, and you can very rarely seat a certain number of people in these venues. Oftentimes they never sell out, but they sold out because of the popularity of Freya Skye, of how she's able to resonate with so many wonderful people. So you can very rarely fit a maximum number of people of about 2,000 people in these shows. So the seating is very limited, and that's the precise reason, along with her popularity, as to why many people can't get tickets. I haven't checked online to see if there are any available, but I'm sure that some will come available as the dates get closer for the premiere of this concert, which of course will kick off on February 6th. And there have been some UK dates officially added on FreyaSkye.com in London and Manchester and various others. And I think that having the opportunity to go home and perform in front of her home country is something unlike anything that Freya Skye has ever experienced in her lifetime. If you thought the emotional breakdowns for Freya were something at the Worlds Collide Tour, we haven't seen anything yet as fans of Descendants of Zombies, because when she finally has the opportunity to go home and perform, man, is she ever going to cry. And I'm going to love every single moment of it, sharing it with each and every one of you. And if you want to hear something nice about Freya Skye, then I think you just might want to subscribe here to this YouTube channel, because this story never has to be over. It's a long way from having been over, and I think we have more reason to be excited about the foreseeable future for all your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars more than ever before. And I'm just so excited, and I've never felt more honored to be a part of it with each and every one of you. If you are somebody who has never seen a Jonathan Clarke YouTube video before in your life, I think you should take yourself up on the opportunity and this profound chance to hit that subscribe button and ring my bell for every video that I will want to upload. I have something going on with my throat. I guess it's because I record so many videos about Descendants of Zombies, I never seem to know what's happening here. But if you guys want to ring my bell to find out what's happening, maybe I'm suffering from a zombie infection. I really don't know. Technical difficulties. But if you guys have never seen a Jonathan Clarke YouTube video before, getting back to what I was saying, you just might want to hit that subscribe button because you never know what you're going to hear or see on this YouTube channel when it comes to predictions or theories or thoughts on Descendants of Zombies. I really have had the time of my life. And guys, if you have ever believed in Descendants of Zombies, I got you on this. I know everything there is to know about Descendants of Zombies. I know what's going down. I know what's happening. And I really have the time of my life recording all these wonderful thoughts and predictions that I've had to share with each and every one of you over the years. I've had the honor of meeting thousands of people who have felt inspired by Descendants of Zombies, and because of Descendants of Zombies, who have felt as if they were a part of something special. And I just want to continue that feeling for a very long time, because I've always believed this story should never have to be over. It doesn't have to be over, because all of us have forever and always believed in it, and we've been a part of something special for our entire lives, for our very existence. And I think that deserves to be honored, and moments like these should forever and always be celebrated. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time. I, of course, am your host, Jonathan Clarke, and we will pick up this conversation right where we left it off, bright and early tomorrow morning, which is a conversation I hope that you guys will join me for, because I have so much to say to and get to when it comes to Freya, Skye, and Clarke, who are some of my favorites of all time. Thank you for believing in Descendants of Zombies as strongly as what each and every one of us have together, because we have experienced so many wonderful moments that we've shared with so many fans of Descendants of Zombies. Even with how many fans of Descendants of Zombies I have been able to resonate with and touch the hearts of, I still have so many wonderful fans of Descendants of Zombies that I have yet to meet. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to go ahead and upload this video to my YouTube channel, never knowing how many views or subscribers I'm ever going to receive, but it has been my honor to be a part of these conversations and to join you every single time I've ever had the chance to share with you my thoughts and my feelings about Descendants of Zombies, because I think as YouTube creators, we can never have enough time to say thank you to every fan of Descendants of Zombies for believing in us as much as what you have and never ever quitting on us, because many of you have been with me from the very first video that was ever uploaded here, and all I would like to say is simply thank you from my heart to yours. Thank you for believing in Descendants of Zombies as much as what you have, and having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time. Thank you so much from my heart to yours, and thank you so much for having watched this video.